Well, everyone, this is back with League of Legends matches. For those of you who don't know, League of Legends is a game where five people play against another five people in a battle arena. It's mostly played online. You choose your champions, you go head to head and try to destroy the enemy's nexus to win. We have a bunch of players from across Nigeria and some players from Ghana coming together to play this wonderful game. This is brought to you by Contender and ASUS ROG PC Masters. This game in any tournament is going to have 5 bans afforded to each team, and they will be done in sequential order. We're going to have the red side banning second, blue side banning first. So it's going to be 1 ban, 1 ban, 1 ban, 1 ban, and then they get to select champions, and then they have the remaining 3 bans in that same order, starting at red side this time, being followed by blue side. So we are going to have the bans up on the screen for you. Side-based damage. It's going to be relevant all throughout the game, but there's a melee into a ranged matchup. You're hoping that Ender on the Veigar can really punish that melee versus range matchup. The Citizens, on the other hand, has Mordekaiser top, Wukong in their jungle, Veigar mid, as said before, Tristana 80 carry, and Morgana support. The Morgana pick is very, very interesting. You have 2 ways of splitting a team fight. Mordekaiser can take one person out of the fight, and Morgana can ensure whoever you need to do something gets to do it. Often for them, that's going to be Wukong pressing his ultimate button and disrupting the entire team fight. Veigar cage coming down to make sure there's some kind of peel or create space, which is not to do her work. So Citizens is going for some kind of scaling, and GCG, in comparison, really wants to take over the early game so that Jax can do something a little better going from mid game into late game. Two teams can execute. Right. We're gonna go into the first game, right? Going straight into game, we see. Do I start casting? Oh, oh. Helene, Wukong, and Diana, just checking to see what's happening in the enemy jungle, see what the game plan is, where people are going down on the enemy blue buff. So red team will know exactly where Diana is starting. And this is important because Diana hits level 3 and she generally wants to full clear, gets level 4. But if she can walk into your lane at level 3, put down a bunch of damage for Jax so he gets control of the lane. Mordekaiser doesn't have self-sustain if he can't actually walk up to the wave, get a shield up, get some healing down. You do see Wukong starting on the same side as Diana, so we could have a nice 2v2 in the top lane. Or if they actually prefer, because it's a melee range matchup mid, Wukong could actually go mid and try and chunk the Garen. Give Veigar some space. Because Garen will try to run at Veigar with his Q. Focused on top lane at the moment, we are seeing that Wung Tang I wish I could see the items he started, because if he didn't start Corrupting Plus, he started Dawn Shield. Jaximus can walk up and abuse him from level 2 using that shield as an advantage. Counter Strike will block or dodge autos, but it won't stop Mordekaiser's Q from going through. Just a bit of cycling through each of the lanes. You do see Garen walking straight up to Veigar because he can. He has an innate passive that lets him regen his health. So he can take unfavorable trades, come back, wait up there till he'll get full health again. Just like that. I mean, he's taking 2 tower shots, but if you give him a little bit of time, he'll come back with full HP. Meanwhile, Veigar is pushed in completely. You should see Garen not recoil here, but actually walk into Wukong's jungle. If he has his ward up, he should place it somewhere near the Raptors so he knows where Wukong is, gives him some safety, and keep taking aggressive trades. Bot lane is pushed, top lane is pushed, mid lane is pushed. That's pushing, ironically, unironically, that's pushing Diana's game plan of getting a full clear down because all her lanes are moving forward. She doesn't really have to go anywhere. You do see Wukong invading on the minimap right now. He's going to try and disrupt Diana's game plan. She's pulling the blue buff down, she's doing it. I don't think he has any vision of it still though. He's looking at her, okay, he can definitely see her now. He's waiting so patiently. Oh, he smites it, he skills it, he goes on her, he's killing her. She's definitely going to be dead here. We see Jax coming down the minimap. Garen is also running forward. This is really late on the movement. He gets stunned. He might die here. So Garen flashes, the cage comes down, creates that space we talked about earlier on. Fight is still going on as he gets his passive off his third strike. And Wukong also gets the scuttler. So that is a very big win for Red side. They're now up 500 gold just off that solo invade by Wukong. And we talked about it earlier. If Garen had put down that ward at Raptors when he finished pushing in, he gets vision of Wukong coming down to Diana's jungle. That whole thing is completely avoided because he did have lane priority for about a whole 30 seconds beginning of the game. Wukong recalls, You assume he buys a longsword. And, game state comes back. Nobody else took a recall, interestingly, on red side. Because when they did move, Mordekaiser's wave in a position to the mini-map for him to actually recall, go back, walk with the item lead or refresh his potions if he bought any. Vega could have done the exact same thing because he is low on mana into a manaless champion. So Wukong picks up the second slot that we can see on the mini-map while mid is being pushed up. And the game it's gone back to a very quiet state. It's actually gone from a 500 gold lead now to about a 700 gold lead. But some of that gold will be equalized by the wave crashing top side. But that's only going to be about 120 gold, maybe even less. So red has a solid lead. It's a question of what they do with it now. Nobody looks to be setting up for any early dragons or solo dragon takes by the junglers. And it's just gone back to wave clearing. Wukong is level 4, interestingly. He should be hitting 5 before Diana is, just because he stole the blue buff. At 6s. At the point where Wukong is level 6, Diana is level 6, we should see a pivotal gank happen. It's a question of if Diana will match it, because now they're on opposite sides of the map. Wukong is moving on the mini-map towards Garen. We see Diana recall, so she can't help. Decides to go against it because Vega recalls also. And we are seeing like a bit of a timing issue on the recalls. Because now Wukong could gank, but Vega went back and then teleported in. Now Garen's going back. There's no gank opportunity there. Wu-Tang is actually... Ganking is when somebody leaves their lane or expected position and goes to another lane to try and influence what happens in that lane, whether it's getting a kill, pushing a wave, but you usually leave your lane to try and get some kind of advantage in another lane somewhere else. We do see this gank rush being done by Wukong. They both get the jump and jab, hits level 6, he pops his ult, he's getting extra armor and magic. He decides to stand and fight for some reason. Ward hops away, and honestly, that's a win for Mordekaiser. He was a level down, he gets to hit level 6 now. If he was level 6 there, it's a kill. But Jax has no ultimate, that's on like above a minute cooldown. It will come back up like half a minute into him being in the lane. And he gets free control over the wave. Interestingly, Mordekaiser should have hit level 6 if he killed 2 minions. If he angled his Q a little bit different, he gets level 6, he ults the Wukong, and not the Wukong, the Jax makes the kill. And then it's just back to farming. Sadly, that gold wasn't leveraged, and I think because of the time spent there, Diana gets... She might be able to hit level 6 before Wukong does. I mean, he's really trying to push his gold lead, but he's just not seeing anything. Uses W to engage in the lane, and that comes up to nothing. You really want to save that to gap close or get in front of the person as opposed to enter the lane with it. That takes Scuttle, Jax pushes in Mordekaiser again, and bot lane they're just trading waves up and down. We haven't really seen anybody get really close to dying down there. So Wukong takes blue, Diana's only going to get to her Raptors if you're looking at the mini-map. So would be able to... Ooh, there's a fight top lane. Jax jumps in, he gets pulled back by Mordekaiser passive. He should ult here if he wants to kill. He decides not to and just walks away. He's being really, really passive, considering he can freely bully Jax in the early games. And he should have had an experience lead, but he didn't have it. As you see there, he Qs, Jax uses his E. It does slightly less damage because it's an AoE attack, but it doesn't negate all the damage because it's not an auto attack. But we see here, Mordekaiser isn't pushing any advantages. Wukong doesn't hit the timing on ganking bot while Diana would be doing red. She hits level 6, he's also level 6 because he does a double camp clear. And they're both level 6, we just need to see where they go, where they spend their first cast of their R button, and see who gets the new gold lead. Mordekaiser spotting going back to lane. And he has teleport, but it's not unleashed teleport, so probably doesn't want to join the bottom fight. Yeah, Tristana has no HP. Diana is in the area. This could be a trigger for Diana to come down. Wukong is also there. I believe he's doing Scuttle? Nope, he's recalling. So Diana's going to walk up into lane while Wukong is recalling. She's going to try and attempt for a lane. Okay, Wukong cancels the recall. We're going to have 6 people down here at the same time. Wukong is walking in, he's walking straight into, nope, he turns around, goes in, the ult goes down on Wukong, exhaust comes out, The binding misses. Tristana ult straight away, cancels Diana ult. She's jumping in. Wukong goes back. He ults. Kill comes out from Caitlyn. And Wukong dies. Diana gets ulted. So it's a 1-0. That's the power of the Zillion coming in right now. You can go full in on any engage you want. As long as Zillion's in range, doesn't get killed or doesn't get popped, you come back for free. And that swung the gold lead completely back in the favor of blue side. Now blue side is up 100. Oh, and the kill comes back. As I say it, caster curse, kill comes back. We have no flash in Zillion, no flash in Caitlyn. So there's really no sums left in bot side. It's a free gank again. While that was happening though, we see on the minimap, Diana is doing Dragon. She gets help from Garen, Zillion goes over. So that's a nice dragon take. All they had to do was trade one person for it. But that did swing the gold back in favor of red side. So we've got gold and we've got some stats from the Fire Drake. Wukong is top side, so he could try and equalize with the Herald take if they know that Jax is recall. But that control word is denying so much vision from the side of red side. I mean, Wukong is about to walk through that control word if he doesn't check that bush. Nope. He walks inside his jungle. He's going to take the blast cone over. No blast cone. Ping's coming out that Garen is missing. Ping's coming out that Jax is missing. Maybe they don't go. No, he doesn't go for the Herald. We do see that blue side has vision. It's not a perfect vision line, but they do have vision. I mean, Wukong could have started it, possibly taken it, because Diana was on Dragon. She has to recall, walk the way back. He could have finished it. Now he's starting it, but it's going to be too late to start it. Thank goodness he checks the brush, he sees the ward, they attack the ward and they stop it. Jax is pushed in, but he's going to counter-strike the wave, he's going to clear it very quickly. If they do want to contest this, they should remember that, I mean, Mordekaiser hasn't bought yet. I don't believe that Veigar has bought either, and he's a mage, so his power spikes are very, very spread out. If they start this, it would be very, very risky. Diana still has the goal she got from the bottom lane gank. And she might have an experience lead also, slight experience lead possibly. There's a fight going on top lane, fight going on mid lane, everybody's just fighting everywhere. Veigar misses a W slightly. Yeah. I mean, we aren't seeing very much coordination from red side, slightly more coordination from blue side. Wukong starts up the Rift Herald, Diana is recalling, and I think he's about to walk into her vision range. Yeah, pings come out, she sees it happening. We see Mordekaiser coming down to help Wukong with it. Cancel an auto, which might cost him a bit as far as finishing this very quickly. Garen is walking away, so is Veigar. So it's going to be a 3v2 unless Jax starts coming down. He is coming down. We see spells come out from Mordekaiser, which means, yep, Garen gets to walk in freely. He goes, his E goes in, he ults through Mordekaiser. Diana ults, gets 3 kills, 1 person. Now they're just chasing down the other 2. Wukong gets ignited, he's dead. That's 2 kills over to the side of blue team, and they get the Herald also. So Wukong actually walks down into vision range of Diana, who's recalling the bush, and suddenly the Rift Herald goes the way of blue side instead of red side. And then, you know, the bot lane isn't really doing much on the other side. Like, it was an isolated 2v2. If there's any gold lead advantage in the bot lane, which we know there is, and it goes back the other way. Caster cursed again. So earlier, Tristana had killed the Caitlyn, and now it's a return kill going the other way, Zillion killing Morgana. So the gold is equalized bot lane, but it's in different people's hands. We see a second teleport coming out from, this is a second teleport from Veigar, and it's going straight to the mid lane. I mean, and that is the 13-minute teleport. That's going into mid lane. It's not trying to equalize any kills on the low health or low mana people in bot lane. Jax is going in again. He's being the one being very aggressive. He comes out backwards from Mordekaiser. It looks like he's going to lose all his health. Mordekaiser should ult, but he doesn't have it up. It's not up. He could steal the stats that Jax gains from using his ult and become even more tanky and harder for Jax to kill him. Just win out with his passive damage. We see Wukong coming in mid, slightly out of range to use his E and get in on the Garen. He gets his E off, he doesn't have his ult, you know, there's no kill to come out of there, just goes back into his jungle. Diana, in the meantime, has been power clearing her jungle. I mean, both of them are on the same level, but Diana has actually got to spend more time in her jungle clearing her creeps. So she should have an experience lead over Wukong. Plates have fallen, it is 14 minutes now, so there's no extra gold to be gotten. And I do believe no one actually picked up. Oh no, there was one plate picked up mid lane, I believe. And that was the only place picked up. We see four people coming down. Pings come out warning bot lane to back off. They do back off, and it's just Garen and Diana hanging around in the area. And we do see again, like they do have one point of vision red team, but the rest of the vision is being completely dominated by blue side. So if you could toggle the map to see what blue side is seeing and what red side is seeing, I mean, red side is completely blind. They get the Rift Herald charge up on the tower, takes up most of its HP. Garen is behind them, and they should give this tower up. They don't need to be here. They don't need this particular wave. Diana jumps in, she flashes ease again. There's Bunny coming out, and then ult comes out, King Tristana. Ult comes out from Caitlyn killing Morgana. So they didn't need to be there. They could have backed off, given up the tower for free, gotten the second wave that comes in, but now 2 kills go over. And then there's an almost 3,000 gold lead for blue team. Wow. I mean, we have seen like clean execution on decisions they make, because they've gone Rift Herald into tower, 2 killed, and now we've gotten a second Drake. So we're going to see what the Dragon Soul could be this game. It could be Hextech, it could be Cloud, it could be Mountain, and we get a Cloud Soul. Reduces your ultimate cooldowns, if I'm not correct. My information might be a little bit outdated, but it does give you bonus points towards your ultimate cooldown. And so they're very close. They're one dragon away from Soul Point, one more dragon after that, and they have the Wind Soul or the Cloud Soul. Yeah, so far, red side seems to be really passive, which is interesting. I mean, they do want to have time for that Tristana to scale up, but you know, they get first blood early on in the river, and they don't capitalize on it in any way. They don't transition it to an early Rift Herald, an early Dragon. This Jax is just getting to freely scale up, and he's taking all these fights he wants against the Mordekaiser, who now actually has an experience lead, which he should have had the whole game, and just bullied the Jax. Okay, so Jax decides to stay, catch the wave, so he might hit level 11 off that. He's actually freezing the wave. He's pulling, so freezing in League of Legends is where you pull more minions from the enemy side to focus fire on your minions and giving you control of the lane. Enemy has more minions on their side than you do on your side, and it keeps the minions meeting at one particular spot, which hopefully is to your advantage, not the enemy's advantage. So Mordekaiser comes up, he breaks that freeze and pushes it into tower. We see Diana in the tri-brush down there. Mordekaiser, Wukong cancels recall. He shows himself on the map though. Both junglers see each other, then everybody just walks away peacefully. And we do see blue side, GCG is holding onto this side of the river's control. I mean, there's no dragon spawning anytime soon. There's also no Rift Herald spawning anytime soon. Baron will beat any Rift Herald spawn at this point. It is 17 minutes in, but they are controlling that particular avenue. Nobody's going to cross that side of the river without GCG seeing it. On the other side, citizens are just playing the long game. Morgana should roam so that Tristana gets solo experience. The way experience works in League of Legends is any minion that dies, any lane minion that dies, shares experience between all enemy champions in the area. So if you have 2 people in the lane and a minion dies, it gives both of those people experience split 2 ways. So if Morgana leaves the lane, Tristana will get solo experience from any minion dying or any minion that she kills. As you see, Jax got 90 gold there. Killing a minion or getting the last hit on the minion will give you the gold value of the minion. If you don't get the last hit, you get no gold. So last hitting is very important if you're playing on the lane. Jungle creeps, on the other hand, will give the gold to whoever last hits it, but usually you're not contending with other minions. We do see a fight break out, and as ult comes out, Jax uses Counter-Strike, they get a kill on Diana, but Garen returns fire, killing Veigar. Black Shield comes out, nothing really threatening her there. We see now it's a 3v2 again. It's a very prolonged fight, and I think Garen is just going to get away. There's no dark binding up, it missed earlier, and everybody just walks back into their lanes. We do see citizens walking through the river to try and collapse in the bot lane, and bot lane should be walking up. Zillion's E comes down, that's on cooldown. The double bomb comes out, completely missed. Black Shield comes out also. They're on the Zillion flashes away. Caitlyn also has flash and heal. Zillion all comes out. He should be dead. There is Garen coming in from top of the river. Stun comes out, he does die. We see, Mordekaiser ults Garen, so it's back to a 3v2 on the other side. Ult comes out, Caitlyn Wukong blocks it. See Mordekaiser's Conqueror's proc, but he's running away from Garen. Morgana dies. She walks into the alcove. Jax is gonna die also. Mordekaiser's walking up. Garen walks up. Veigar is here now. He flashes, gets the slowdown. Wukong flashes. It's a kill. And Diana's back here. This fight started in mid lane, made its way all the way down to the bot lane, and we still have GCG holding a gold lead, almost a 3K gold lead over Citizens, which is interesting. I mean, we just saw an exchange of kills there. It was, I believe, a 3-for-2 going the way of Citizens. And Wukong just goes back to farm. We aren't really seeing any vision contest. I mean, you see on the mini map, GCG has wards inside the jungle of Citizens, but they really aren't clearing it out. And to level 16 increased the effectiveness of his ultimate. And you mean on the other side, Jax is also farming. He's a ticking time bomb that Citizens will need a way to deal with, which is really hard for them to do unless the Veigar cage lands perfectly. Because the Wukong knockup is only, I think, 0.75 seconds per time he casts it. But it's really not that much time against somebody who has over 2000 HP. He will still get to your backline if you have no other way to stop him. If you're layering CC on him, you have no way to stop Diana from going QE and then ulting on you. And when I say these QEs, they're players' abilities. The champions each have 4 abilities, 3 main skills, 1 ultimate skill. For Diana, she has a Crescent Strike, her Pale Cascade. Forget what her E is called, but her E is a dash that resets if you hit somebody that has been tagged by her Q, which is a Crescent Strike. You will see the light come up on someone that's been hit, and they can dash that person for free. Her ult, Moonfall, is very impactful because it pulls in anybody in the radius, does more damage for each person beyond the first you pull in. So if Diana gets onto Tristana, Morgana's Black Shield is down, which prevents CC, she will do a lot of damage. She will one-shot that backline by herself. No one else needed. So you have this interesting conundrum. Do you stop Jax? Do you stop Diana? You gotta use your CC properly, balance the way you're using it too. And that's only because they aren't behind. If they're not behind, Mordekaiser just walks up, ults somebody, and becomes becomes a 5v4 once the ult is finished, usually. So you do see nobody's playing around Baron currently, even though it has spawned. They are just walking around clearing vision. Mostly, and now we have a sweeper down on the side of Citizens. They're clearing vision, contesting for that vision line. Jack's jumping. Ooh, Mordekaiser, the ult comes up. There's also a fight going on in the river. Diana is getting tagged by Wukong. She goes in, ults three people, gets ulted away by Tristana. She's probably dead. They jump over to kill her. Garen is going for Vigor. Ignite comes out, and he ults, doesn't get the kill. He gets tagged by the Dark Binding. He's trying to finish that kill, but he dies to Wukong, who has built Divine Sunderer, which should be good for him. He's facing 3 melee people. Having Divine Sunderer should be the way to go. You see teleport coming out from Jax, going straight back top lane behind Mordekaiser, who's pathing through the enemy jungle, but he's going to be surrounded by 2 other people. The E is very, very premature. Walks straight to Caitlyn, eats a full combo, a stun. Jax comes in, and Caitlyn gets the shutdown on the Mordekaiser. Meanwhile, Citizens picks up a tower. I don't think the tower for shutdown trade is that worth it, especially as Dragon is coming up very, very soon. And we see again that GCG still has their vision. At any point in time, GCG is holding on to their vision. Citizens has put down vision, but it hasn't cleared out the vision of GCG. They don't have any teleports up, so Jax being top lane at this point might be a bit risky for them. He probably wants to cut this last wave. Recall, head straight to the dragon. You don't really want to give people too many dragons to stack, but no, he's staying top. They have decided he should stay top, and we have the whole team of Citizens going to his dragon. Mordekaiser has teleport, so he can walk top for free. They've got that TP advantage, and they're just starting a dragon. They should be able to take it. I mean, Diana is mid, Garen is mid, nobody is stopping them. So they once again trading dragon for a bit of mid pressure. Mordekaiser has an ult, so oh no, he does have ult. He could have ulted Garen on the tower then and ensure that they get the kill. Diana dodges the stun, she gets knocked up, she goes in, gets killed before she can press the ult. Unsure if she has a stopwatch, but if she did, that could have been a really, really clean play, at least get 1 kill trade back. And they're working their way to Baron. I mean, they have killed the enemy jungler, so it should be a free smite. Wukong has smite up. You see Caitlyn recalling from bot side, so there's no way they can contest this without the AD carry. Jax is walking up, hits the blast cone, they see all vision. Baron's at 1,500. Smite should come out, and they get it. It's a free Baron. Kill enemy jungler, go to Baron. Now I just need to walk away from here and get away scot-free. Strikebreaker comes out. She misses the Dark Binding. He is going to interrupt the recalls. Looks like, ooh, no, Wukong goes over the wall. It's just Veigar left in the pit, and he has no mana, so he's probably very, very dead. It's just taking a while for them to kill him. Oh, he puts puts out the Zhonya's. Zhonya's has an ability called Stasis, makes you invulnerable to damage, but you also can't move, you can't cast, can't do anything. Caitlyn combo comes out, ulting the Tristana. That's a dead Tristana. Shutdown goes over to Caitlyn. Now, interestingly, there's so many shutdowns on the side of red side. Shutdowns means that player or that character has a bounty on their head. It means they have more gold than their opponents on the same level. Which is interesting because GCG actually has more total gold than Citizens, but then the Citizens players have shutdowns. It's very interesting math that goes behind that one. So Caitlyn actually is stronger than Tristana, as you saw in the 1v1 in bot lane, but Tristana has a shutdown. It just gave Caitlyn more gold. And that's so they have Baron, they're mid lane, they've lost their bot lane tower, which is quite unfortunate for them. Having exposed inhibitor 28 minutes into the game, surely one way for GCG to try and end the game. And what we're seeing now is a little bit of an ARAM, honestly. You think you would end up in North America. Oh, Caitlyn gets caught, stunned, Dark Binding misses, stun comes out, ult comes out, Diana ults. She misses the pullback on 2 people, but they do get to save the Caitlyn. And now they're not trading back any kills. You have 2 people with lost health bars. Jax goes in, stuns, Veigar Cage comes out and misses. The Zillion is putting out bombs and gets taking splash damage. Squire's orb comes out for no reason at all, but we still have Baron and powered minions in the mid lane trying to crash his tower. But it is a full ARAM. It is 3v5 in the mid lane, and they're really not using the Barons to the best of its capabilities. Because really, with a Mordekaiser who you do expect to win the 1v1, or at the very least chunk the person out, he should be top lane, split pushing. At the very least, you want a 1-4, or you want a 1-3-1 sending Veigar into the bot lane. Because Veigar does have teleport. He can push in that lane with Baron and power minions. He's been stacking AP the whole game, so when he autos a tower, it is gonna hurt. And worst case scenario, he teleports in, you delay with Morgana ultimate, he teleports in, drops his cage, you turn the fight in your favor. I mean, Citizens has a lot of CC on their side, with every member on their squad having at least one form of hard CC, but you don't really see them controlling fights in their favor. And you also don't see them gaining any gold off of this Baron. The Baron is gone now, and the gold difference did not change, at least not in their favor. So they have three people mid lane sharing experience, which is a bit of a shame now, because you really want your solo laners and your Tristana to have solo experience at this point. The faster Tristana gets that level 18, the more range she has. Her passive, Draw a Bead, gives her a bit of range every time she levels up. And it makes it really easy for her to be safe as an AD carry who is a bottom laner and pump out consistent damage on the front line, making her way into the back line. You see, Caitlyn gets the red buff, gives a little bit of health regen, gives her auto attacks, a burn doing true damage, percentage of person's health over time, and applying a slow, which allows it to be even safer than her range already gives her. We see a small engage, the flash, the E with Diana pulling in three people. Morgana already dead. Stridebreaker comes out from Garen, he silences, he's moving. Veigar's cage comes out, which should be the way for them to control the fight, but they can't stop the Garen plus Zillion combo. He's just running them down. Giglin all comes out, but does not kill the Wukong. I believe it's blocked by Mordekaiser. And they get a free Drake. They get a free Drake, putting them on soul point. And this whole time, Jax is just split pushing top lane. So, I mean, they're winning. GCG is winning this game currently as a four-man squad. Interesting that Jax chooses to run away from Mordekaiser, probably sees the level difference and doesn't want to tango without having he himself is level 3 ultimate at level 16. But honestly, with the way the game looks and the goal difference, he probably could win that fight. Straight up, walk and win that fight. So you see them clearing out ways. Garen is attacking. He's putting pressure on the bottom inhibitor. We see two people respond. And they are drawing people around, which is interesting. I mean, GCG had vision control the whole time. We know Citizens did not have that much vision control. But now that they've lost all their towers in their lanes, except for the one in top tower, they have even less vision to work with. So on the map, somebody attacking, Garen attacking the bot lane inhibitor could mean that there is three other people there, and they just don't know. They have no way of knowing. Baron coming up soon, they should be making their way through their jungle, putting down ward, clearing out visions from behind them. Because if anybody on their team is tracking that timer, they should know Jax has teleport. The worst thing that can happen, is Tristana getting caught by Jax. I mean, he stuns and runs away. He stuns and runs away, which is an extreme amount of discipline, not knowing where the rest of Citizens are. Stunning, running away is the better option if you don't instantly kill. You see pings coming out from GCG asking somebody to go bot lane. They probably want to send Jax there because his teleport is up. And on the other side, they only want to send Veigar to bot lane because he has the best wave clear, but he also has teleport up. You want your Mordekaiser down with the rest of your team because he's a front line. Interestingly, Garen pulls back. I mean, he is really strong, really tanky at this point. He can honestly run out three people. See GCG making the way through the river towards mid lane to stop the push that Citizens is now taking off. The Q comes out from Diana, it misses. And she double E. She also the Wukong. He flashes away. It's flashed down from Wukong. This is a really powerful engage. So we see Jax actually teleported behind them. Veigar cage comes out. They should just walk away from this. And they're still posturing. They're still posturing for a fight. We see Mordekaiser comes out, uses his E, and they're clearing waves. Yeah, so nothing comes off from the investment of the teleport by GCG, but I mean, Citizens is playing a very, very dangerous game here. They don't have the goal to contest this fight, and they also haven't shown the coordination or focus needed to win the fight. They really should be going for some kind of fix here. In their favor, though, is the bot wave, which will start stacking up for them eventually. Give or take 2 minutes, it will start stacking up eventually. Recall comes out from a jungler and a support, hopefully going to get more wards so they can establish a vision line, but
Blue team has slain the dragon.
point, who is still down a level from the enemy AD carry. And the experience does stack up with jungle camps also. Though if you don't have Smite as one of your summoner spells being Smite, Flash, Teleport, Heal, you get reduced experience. Oh no, sorry. If you don't have the jungle item, you get reduced experience from killing jungles. But the experience still matters quite a bit. We see recalls coming out all across the map. Veigar's going down to bot lane to get some more farm there. Veigar is an interesting champion. He skills almost infinitely, gaining ability power anytime he kills a unit, well, a minion or jungle creep with his Q, and anytime his abilities hit a champion or kill a champion. So he is the ultimate scaling for the side of Citizens Gaming. He's really you can see him playing scared. If you look at the mini map, he's playing so scared because he's not sure where anybody is. See Jax coming to the mid lanes, but nope. For the first time, he doesn't jump for Mordecai. It's a good decision. The Dark Binding comes out. Dana clears vision in Citizens Jungle, which honestly is now GCG's jungle because they are holding over 70% of the map hostage. They're holding it as their own. See stuns coming out from all game, and that's doing quite a bit of damage. Garen goes in, it's a 4v2, but Garen is so tanky, taking almost zero damage from everybody. Mordekaiser ults him, it's a 1v1 on that side. We see a kill come out, killing Morgana. We see flashes coming out of both from two of the carries. But since sides, Mordekaiser is now fighting a 1v2 by himself. He is running away. And he is dead, taking two ults with him. He just goes down. It is now a 5v2 on the map. Citizens unable to convert any kills in that small skirmish. Not a full team fight, just a skirmish. Dana, meanwhile, is pushing top versus Vega. She goes in on him, uses EW. The Eternal Winter comes out. Caitlyn Gill forces inwards, gets a speed up from Zillion, and she kills the Tristana. So now it is a 5v1. Oh, Flash comes out from Vega. Jax Q going to be up in nope, no spacing from Vega, and he just dies. So it is an ace coming out on the side of GCG, who looks like they will just close this game right now. They have the minion waves. First tower is dead. Second tower is coming down. I believe that's it. That is game. A lot cleaner execution coming out on game plan from the side of GCG, keeping Jax as far away from any action as possible, and somehow winning out on the other side of the map than their opponent. They had vision up on their opponent most of the time, and they went for objectives and they executed on the game plan to the best of their ability, and they got a win. It is a free game for them. We and I mean, you have to hope that in game two you see a different level of execution from Citizens Gaming because they did get the early game advantage. They had a solid gold lead at the beginning of the game, they didn't convert it into anything. They weren't trading on either sides of the map. You see the top laner playing a bit too passively considering the champion picks that they have. And we're just hoping to see a little bit better from them coming out next game. And we're hoping GCG does what they did, but a bit better. Push their vision on a bit early, a bit. Welcome back to the ROG PC Masters, powered by Contender League of Legends tournament. We are going into Game 2 of GCG versus Citizens Gaming. And Game 1 was interesting in its own way because we did see GCG have obvious communication between those going at any point in time, prioritizing objectives more than Citizens and using those objectives really well. Because I mean, Citizens stole a Baron, but they didn't do anything with it. They actually got 2 Barons. The goal difference didn't move anywhere, and you saw Citizens lose in a skirmish. We want to see like more specific gameplay from Citizens to help them win a Game 2, execute the draft a little bit better. So with us, we do have Amanus, coming to join the casting. He's going to be co-casting with us for Game 2. He's going to say hi to Amanus.
Hey, name's Amanus, play League of Legends. My friend and brother over there. David, thanks for joining us.
So we're not going to waste very much time. I'm sure everybody wants to see Game 2. So we are going to just give you a breakdown again of the prize pool, so you do see what our players. First place is going on 100,000 naira. Second place is going on 50,000 naira. And it's not chicken change. This is enough money to do something within your life.
Oh no, this is quite interesting. For League of Legends, I was gonna say for League of Legends prize pool, especially my Nigeria after this is quite something.
You can actually start a small business with that. So and just to remind you what the brackets are looking like, you do know it is GCG. GCG did take Game 1. It's a best of 3, so first to 2 gets to go to the grand finals. And
which would be a best of 5. And on the other side, I think it says Afri versus Afri Gaming, but that's I believe that's a typo. I believe it's Afri Gaming versus Team Saints.
Yeah. So we do see the bans, and this time the GCG bans are they're not all champions with A. We see Hecarim, which is actually one of Silver Fang's most played champions. We see Trundle come out, which is interesting. So you expect to see some kind of like tanky top lane if they're banning that. Lissandra in the mid lane, Swain and Zara both support bans.
Yeah,
and on the other side for Citizens, you can take it, Amanus.
Yeah, we see a Shen band for Citizens in top lane. Probably worry of that global, and the top lane does play a good Shen. They also banned Misfortune in the ADC department. I'm guessing that's because they're scared of the Misfortune Wombo combo. Misfortune champ that can completely turn around the team fight with a good ult. We have a Laui. I'm certain that works well with Misfortune, so I can see why that would be banned. They also have a Darius ban for top lane, which is quite interesting. Probably worried about like an early scaling, early snowball potential from top, especially with the jungler going top fairly often. I would assume that's why. And a Kai'Sa ban in ADC. Wow, that's quite interesting, especially with the MF.
And we get to see their picks now. If you're going to first pick Irelia, the Trundle ban doesn't make as much sense because you do just want the Irelia to scale and run around. She doesn't actually ever have to fight the Trundle one-on-one. But it is Irelia into GP top. It is a Diana versus an Udyr in the jungle. Aatrox mid, we see their mid laner is trying to preempt the Garen pick from last time, but now we have a reverse range into melee matchup. Granted, Urgot doesn't have that much range. Bot lane, it's Tristana pick again versus the Misfortune.
And we have a Swain versus Leona supports. I will say though, the Aatrox versus the Urgot matchup mid, I wonder how that's going to go. I mean, it feels very snowbally in either direction. If we see an early Diana gang, that could potentially turn into a snowballing matchup for mid lane. And with Urgot ult and roam potential, that could be a key factor in how this game plays out.
It could. We're essentially seeing a top lane matchup show itself in mid lane with a more straight lane and a much shorter lane. So I mean,
Exactly.
Aatrox isn't going to chase you down forever, but if Urgot lands a slow, I
It
mean,
could be game
Aatrox
over.
isn't really gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be game over. So are we saying mid lane is the place that this game could be decided in? Because I mean, Irelia and Gangplank are both terrors in their
I
own
would
right.
say also though the mix of damage on oh yes, the mix of
Yeah,
damage with Swain and Diana with AP versus the AD. However, on the side of GCG, we're not seeing a lot of magic damage. So I wonder how that's
yeah.
going to play out.
Yeah, we're about to see it. We're going into the game right about now. Hopefully, they're able to pull off their comps. I'm excited to see what happens in this
Yeah,
game.
let's see how it goes. And we're in game.
Oh, we are in game. So last game, we did see Silver Fangs, like, test the waters by walking into the enemy jungle to put a ward down. And he was able to find an enemy jungler there. He was able to find in the dark there, and they had like a small trade.
Let's see how
We
it
do see,
goes.
yeah, we do see this time he's a lot to gender. I mean, last time he was red side, now he's blue side. Um, we see, I mean,
Mm,
we see a ward come down very early on the top
yeah,
side, walking down towards bot side, but they're
both
walking away.
both teams seem
So
quite wary of invades, but uh, I believe Udia
Urgot is
went back.
finding Diana.
No, I believe Udia went back for trinkets. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to sweep the blue ward that was placed. I think they saw them place the ward, but I'm not sure. Ah, no, apparently I don't think so.
No sweeping happening, and we do see. I mean, it's a cross map jungle start. So Udia is
Yeah.
gonna clear towards the bottom side of the map. Diana's gonna clear to the top side of the map. And
Oh,
last game, we did see Diana do a full jungle clear. She didn't just do three camps go into a camp. Full jungle clear. Udia probably wants to do the same thing this game.
that makes a lot of sense. Also, with having a Leona in the bot lane. Oh, so it's Irelia versus Aatrox, not Urgot versus Aatrox.
A lane swap did come out. They put Irelia mid and they put Urgot top. I mean, either one could have worked. They
Yeah,
probably just
I
wanted a
mean,
more
I
favorable
like the
matchup.
Urgot versus the Jax matchup, versus the Gangplank matchup, fairly because of the early game. Uh, there is a lot of pressure on the Gangplank to not mess up his step in. Also, the Irelia versus Aatrox. Aatrox being a champion that likes to bully in the early. Irelia with her sustain and ability to dodge Aatrox's Q with her Q gives her a slight advantage in the matchup, though a single misstep can end for both sides.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the most teetering skill matchup ever. Stun lands is a very simple trade and dashing and dashing. We are
And
seeing
she
what you
dodges.
said play out in both lanes. Urgot is bullying Gangplank, forcing him off the wave early level one because Gangplank can't trade back. Urgot's passive will outdamage Gangplank. And then in the mid lane, you see Irelia just dashing in and out, being as cheeky as possible. She even has
And
lane
she's
control. Ooh, W
still
lands, she
full
casts her
health.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Gangplank
Gangplank
has no
steps in.
mana, he's taking a bunch of damage, but Urgot does not have Ignite. He takes a tower shot. Gangplank
And
has the
oh,
refillables.
I wonder if he's going to stay. Diana is in the top side jungle now, finish clearing her blue. One more camp, and we have a ward. We'll see if that's if she can path around the ward or if she can time it perfectly. And Udia is in the bot side. Oh, she cleared just one camp faster than Udia, so she's able to get to the crab.
Yeah,
Bot
but
side
she's getting
has
contested by Urgot. So Urgot
oh
sees her.
Good.
and she gives it up. That's interesting. I mean, she's giving it up because Gangplank has no
No
mana.
plan.
He's not really going to do anything
Yeah.
in that fight, but now Urga just gets
I
the
don't think
free
it was
gold.
necessary to give it up. Probably worried about Udyr, but
Udyr,
they
yeah.
should know he's in the bot side jungle. They pinged it out, I believe. So she should not have been too worried. And Avelia gets an early back. I wonder what item she's going to have. I'm assuming with those, if she got a potion to start with, she might have a Doran's Blade or a Longsword now, which put the lane quite firmly in her favor. Nice combo for
Oh,
Gangplank. He's out of mana though, but the only spells that really do need mana on Gangplank are his Q and his W, so they shouldn't be too far. Auto attack
I don't
tackle.
like. Yeah, I don't like Aatrox trading with Irelia there.
Yeah.
She has passive damage increase on her auto attacks. Well, not sorry. She has attack speed when she has. No, she has both. She has attack speed and increased damage on auto attacks, and he doesn't really have that except for his first auto attack, and it wasn't up there, so he just lost a lot of health for almost
For
nothing.
free,
He will
basically.
sustain it back, yeah, for free. He will sustain it back, but he's not going to be able to, walk up and contest it easily, and we see that he walks up, and she's
Oh,
Ignite
Ignite,
comes
she's
down.
going to
She
go
has
in.
double
She's going to
Q
go in, and
and first
perfect.
blood.
If he
First
had
blood, yeah.
hit the Q, there was a potential for an outplay, but she flashes at the right time, and he has TP, so he shouldn't be missing too much of the wave. But that was a fantastic play by the Irelia. I believe that
She
is their top
punished it.
laner, yes? From last game.
The
Did you finish
Irelia, it
that?
is their top laner. He
From
is
last
just
game,
playing
yeah.
in the mid lane this game. There was a lane
Quite
swap.
very nice play from the top laner.
But he capped it. He punished. I mean, we
Yes.
were just saying that. Like, Aatrox just took a really bad trade. He shouldn't
Yes.
walk up. The wave is pushing towards him, and Irelia is a
100%.
champion that naturally wants to push to keep her passive stack up. So he could have just waited a little bit and he'd have been fine. Or recall, teleport back in.
You're
But
quite
he
right.
walked up and he
Also,
died for no
considering the
reason.
fact that Irelia backed early and had an item advantage, I believe trading there may not have been the best choice. For example, as we see in top lane, we have Gangplank. He was out of mana and he TP'd back. Level 4 versus
This is
level
a
5.
bad
Let's see
gank.
how this
And level 6.
flashed him.
I mean, the ult comes out, hits the wrong person.
Perfect.
Gangplank is level 6, all comes
Yeah,
down, they
nice.
kill.
Nice.
They pull the
Oh,
Udyr, and
Irelia
you
is
see
diving in the mid lane. Can she get the last auto? Can
there's
she
two
get the
fights
auto? Can
going
she
everywhere.
actually cut the
Oh,
auto
it's a
attack?
trade. It's a
Perfect.
1-for-1 trade. We do see the 2 kills come out in top lane. So it's 2-for-0 top lane, and it's 1-for-1 in mid lane. And we do see, somehow, probably because of CS difference, that red side still has the advantage. GCG still has the advantage in gold. This is actually a reverse of what we saw from last game, where early in the game, Citizens had the gold advantage, but they couldn't capitalize on it. But here, you see GCG with the gold advantage, and you think to yourself, I mean, they
We're
came from
slowly
behind
getting
last
even,
game
but
and won.
our David is slowly
Oh,
getting even.
it's even out. Minion
Yeah.
kills and
I,
possibly a tower plate. It was a
yes.
tower plate in top lane.
I believe
Tower
it's
plate got in
slowly
top
start
lane.
scaling back now because as both top lane and mid lane come back to find maybe 2-3 waves at their towers, we do see the Aatrox invest TP to make sure that the wave crashes in mid lane, which is probably the best choice there. You don't want the wave freezing in front of an Irelia's tower, as she's trying to do now. Maybe not freezing, but
Oh,
that's
she gets the
definitely not.
stun, gets the Q
Oh,
in.
he
W
gets
comes out from Aatrox. He doesn't
and
pop
he
his
gets the
ult though.
trade. He
He
actually
gets
gets the
a
trade back.
clean trade. Yeah,
She has
he gets a very clean
40
trade.
health. She 100% has full item right now. That BAM scepter is putting in the win. Yeah.
Irelia is the only champion who consistently has been asked to be nerfed since release. And she's gone through a whole VGU, but everybody still wants Irelia to be nerfed.
That makes perfect sense. We see
It's a meme that never died.
we see the Diana showing up mid. Irelia just safely backs away. She has no reason to stay up really. There's no CS to cap, so that's good. Udyr is farming in the jungle. Diana is a level ahead of the Udyr.
Yes, Udyr did die. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking of Udyr, I mean, Udyr did just get a big change to his kit. His spells changed fundamentally into this passive. So he is
and
a
the
bit
show.
more.
No, they did the Irelia in. I believe this is a kill. Can she outplay? Udyr's bot lane. I don't think she can. And she gets
And she goes
killed.
down.
She played a bit more aggressive than she needed to right there, and was probably not expecting Diana to come back mid from the top side. She had the top side warded, but I believe Diana came from the tower lane, from the tower side, so that was probably unexpected. And
The word comes out from Tristana, spotting the Udyr
perfect,
in that
perfect.
lane gang. So just a little bit of damage traded over. She shields it. I think
Oh,
mid
is this a
lane,
trade? Is this a trade? Who wins this? I believe Gangplank should win this. He should probably win this.
she
And he does. Perfect. I believe he tried to
so
flash the
interest.
Urgot ult.
He did, and he did. He successfully flashed the
Yeah,
Urgot ult. The
that
Urgot
probably,
ult did not land.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
that
that
was the
ulted,
difference
he might
between
have changed the fight. But they decided to
between
go
lane.
for they decided to go for Drake. Oh, they saw the Diana top. I was wondering why they chose to do this at this time. But yeah, Diana went top. Diana does have Herald, so she will probably try to get an advantage top with Urgot not having TP. Yes, they do. They take the plates here. They take the full tower here.
Oh, this is a lot better than game one from Citizens, because game one, GCG got first Dragon uncontested and then thwarted the Citizens' take of the Rift Herald. But now we've seen a good kill
Yoshi
mid.
messed up.
We've seen a solo kill top into Herald, into using the Herald instantly. And you see it in the goal difference. Now Citizens is completely,
A
solidly in
2,000
the
gold
lead. They
ahead.
have a 2.3 gold lead over GCG.
And
I don't like what Misfortune is doing here, but it's because Udyr is down here. But she is overstaying her welcome with no mana. Granted, she has the extra movement speed, can dodge the swing E, but it is
she
still a
has
bit of a
double
risky play.
summons. She does have double summons, and she might be trying to actually bait the engage with Udyr around, but Leona is level 6 and Swain is level 5. That might make a key difference in the engage. Having the Swain ult with the extra sustain would help him from getting absolutely one shot. So they might be banking on that, but it's as you say, very, very risky. She does back now, so no, they chose to stay. I wonder why.
This is very greedy. You would expect Citizens to spot this out. You expect their bot lane
Yeah,
to be saying, "Hey, look, this Misfortune has no
that's
mana.
banana.
I need to cancel her passive with an auto attack, and
And
Swin
yeah,
and
we
I
have
combined kill
Swain.
her."
Yeah, but they don't punish. They're probably worried about Udyr being bot side. I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that the enemy jungle would be bot side. Oh, and the lane swap with Gangplank going mid
Oh, it
now,
all
and
comes out
Irelia goes
from
all in.
Irelia. She goes double
That's
Q, and
and
Gamblack is
yes,
dead.
that's Irelia does Irelia things. Yeah.
Eh,
Gangplank would need to stay sufficiently out of range, hit some barrels on Irelia, hit some Qs, and absolutely you need to dodge the stun. But yes, Irelia does Irelia things, and Aatrox goes back mid. They clear.
Yeah, like Gangplank just took a nice ticket. He took a nice ticket to mid lane, and then took a nice
Yeah,
ticket to his gray screen. Like,
yes, give 500 gold and has to spend TP to give 300 gold, sorry, and has to spend TP top.
that's an
If I was
interesting
Aatrox,
decision over
I'd
there.
be,
I think
I
the
would be
original
fuming a
lane
bit right
matchups
now.
were such that they thought Gangplank should fight Aurelia.
After getting the tower, he got the lead, but oh, I believe this is definitely quick Gangplank. Where you go Essence Weaver first item. Versus the team comp, it's hard to say. Generally versus tanks, you want to go grasp first. Grasp with Triforce into collector, i.e., to give a little bit of extra tankiness because versus tanks, you generally don't one-shot them as GP, unlike squishy champions. So you need the extra bit of health to keep you alive long enough for you to one-shot. And I think Tristana jumped, maybe anticipating a Leona stun, trying to buffer the jump, but nothing came out. So she probably has to play safe for like the next few seconds.
I mean, something we do have to talk about, like definitely have to talk about, is that most of these players are playing with pings in the 100 to 200 range. So a lot of what they're going to be doing isn't going to be reaction, it's going to be prediction.
Oh,
And that
perfect.
favors you when you're paying. Yeah, like in that scenario right there where she predicts the Leona ult and she jumps away. Prediction favors you over reaction when your ping is a
Oh,
lot higher.
and
We see.
Irelia flashes.
She
Irelia
runs
flashes there. That
away.
was perfect. They were waiting. I believe that was a double bait. Aatrox was going for the cannon. Aurelia was waiting for him to go for the cannon, and Diana was waiting for Aurelia to wait for him to go for the cannon. So that worked out quite interestingly.
Like everybody's baiting over here.
Oh yeah, everybody's waiting over here. She does lose the flash. Oh, good crit. Um, I believe if Gangplank lands a single barrel that crits, Urgot should die top lane. I mean, not from the one shot, but Urgot is playing a bit more forward than he has no tower, so no wards. Him walking up to check the Gangplank there was
It was a bit of a
very risky.
risky decision. Maybe in his mind, he sees Dragon is coming up, expects both junglers to start making their way down. And
Yeah.
something we see again from last game is that citizens aren't working on their vision control. There's absolutely no vision control in the river. Dragon is up now, no vision control. Maybe they're not prioritizing Dragon, but where is their vision? Where are they investing that
They have a single
75
pink ward
gold
on the
from their
map.
support? Yeah, it's a single pink word on the map. I mean, this time GCG is behind on vision, but that's expected. They don't have a gold lead like they did the other last time, so they
Yeah.
should be a bit hesitant to go and place down vision unless they're pulling multiple out of the lane. There's also something else we should talk about. We've seen
Diana's
both supports stay in lane the whole
most
time.
of the game.
There's
Yeah.
there's
No,
almost no
no putting of
roaming
wards.
from support, and that's probably why they have no vision going down because it's support staying lane. And I talked about this last game. You're playing with the Tristana. You want her to scale as quickly as possible. You want
Yes.
her
Get those
to at the very
towers. Get
least
those
hit
gold.
level 11 as fast as possible. Give her that extra range against Irelia, who's going to be trying to dash at her, stun her at 850 range. You want her to have that. You want her to get as much solo experience as possible.
Even with the prior, it would seem that GCG get the first take on the game. Nobody's allowed to contest, and Urgot, I believe, is doing the Herald top lane. So do
Yeah.
they just get both objectives for free, or
It-
is anybody going to swap it out? Oh, it looks like I
no,
already.
this
Oh, the MF is about to go, and they
Yeah,
do
and
get
yeah, they get both objectives for free.
wow.
And I mean, we are saying this. This is a problem Citizens is currently having with not having vision. They are losing games to lack of vision. They're not investing in vision. You have you have one control word on the map before both objectives spawn and no vision anywhere else. And I would understand if they were deciding, okay, we're going to give up this dragon. We don't want the ocean soul. We want to full stack 4 dragons. But then
But
you're playing for Herald, right? You're not
yes,
just giving up the Herald.
that's that's bad macro. I mean, on the mechanic wise, decision making wise, they've had some good ganks, they've had some good plays on the top side, but I don't really believe they capitalizing on their lead. They took top tower and did not make a play for any plates or any other towers. I believe their gold was firmly 2K. Now it's slowly slipping. It's in the 1.5. Ah, they're
Yeah,
not
that's
really
without the
pushing, as we
Herald
say.
getting placed down. I mean, once they place this Herald down, you will see the gold equalize a bit.
Yeah, hopefully they take a tower with it. But my issue with Citizens now is that they have a lead, but they are not capitalizing on the lead. They're mostly playing safely, waiting for GCD to like come in on them. But GCD has no reason to. There's no Drake, there's no Herald. Even when there was, which was when Citizens should have tried to pick a fight, as you said, they did nothing. Even they didn't go for any objectives. I wonder where the how do I say playmaking is coming from. They had the opportunity before, and Aurelia goes in, dives on the tower. Aatrox does have healing. The Gangplank ult goes down. The slows. Oh, and the Leona flashes on the tower into Gangplank ult, and it's a double kill. Ah, yes, Aurelia
Yeah.
loves to go for those guys, but we cannot do those. And we
Oh,
have
we
another
see
play
a
top
gank
lane.
coming in top lane. The ult lands this time, so it's just a matter of you're doing enough damage. Gangman putting down a
Oh,
barrel.
and he
Oh, that's a
hits.
huge barrel with a flash also.
A double.
Orgott is still
click.
chasing.
Oh,
Oh,
that was interesting.
the barrel did not get chained, so he gets to get away from that. I mean, he just cost him a flash, but he gets to get away from that. I mean, Orgott did start attacking the wave when
And
he should,
MF
and now we
MF
have.
dies here. MF dies here. And MF dies here. Wow. Across
And Urgot dies also!
across the whole map. That's almost an ace, I believe. Or unofficial ace. No, Urgot no.
Oh,
Urgot did not die.
Yeah, Irelia didn't die, so it's a. Irelia didn't die, so it's
No,
on a.
Irelia died to start it off. Irelia and Leona
Oh
died
yeah,
to
yeah,
start it
that
off.
that is true. So it's Udyr who didn't die. So I mean, we're talking about the fact that Citizens isn't using their gold lead where they want to or where they should, and now we just see GCG's like, hey, you know what? Let's give you more of a gold lead because you didn't do the right
Apparently, it
thing. Let's
wasn't
help
enough.
you along. Let's help you along in getting this.
And
But I,
I just
that is.
it's I guess a bit of not understanding the moment. I really thought she had a bigger lead than she did on Aatrox. She had Ignite, but she probably forgot about the Gangplank ult. It doesn't. It may not seem like it does a lot of damage, but the slow, especially as a melee champion on the tower, if you can't get your auto attacks off on Irelia, you are not healing, and if you can't heal, well, you die to Aatrox. The Leona flashing probably thought you could flash in to help the Irelia, but that didn't work out. Then top lane, well, you just have, had Gangplank running Urgot and landing a few crits.
We do have to. Oh, for game one, Tristana died on the tower. She seems like she wants to repeat that exact same mistake.
She cleanses a bit late. She jumps at the wrong time. Oh,
Okay, she gets one kill, flashes. You have to
comes down, but a bit too late.
They're really committing to this. Aatrox chasing, he puts down his W. The chains gets broken by Udyr's movement speed. Gangplank is coming from the other side.
The bells did not connect. Oh, he doesn't hit the bells in time, and Udyr just runs out. I think they were able to get the mid lane tower with Herald there, and Irelia is getting top lane tower. So, TP from Aatrox. I believe he can probably stop it, but yeah, I believe the gold was going back to 2K down after it went to 4K for a split second, and it's back to 2K. So they got the lead and they gave it right back. But Drake is spawning. This is, Ocean Soul points. One more after this, and they get. I said Ocean. I'm sorry. This is Soul points.
Hex deck.
And looks like, Citizens go for the Hex deck Soul.
But it's one person starting it. Tristana is still walking up in the jungle, and on the
do
other side, you have everybody else coming in really late. I mean, they're rushing it. They could get it in time. The Misfortune ult comes out. Diana ultimate gets two people.
And they get a double kill. Diana, beautiful. She recognizes that trying to finish the Drake under Misfortune ult was probably not the best idea. Goes for the Misfortune, and they needed to make that play quickly because Aatrox TP top and Irelia was walking down from base, and you do not want to pick a 4v5 with a team that's MF, Leona, Irelia. It was a good. I believe it was a bit too hasty on the MF side, probably trying to deter them from finishing the Drake until the Irelia comes, but a bit too far forward versus a Diana, and you see the results.
We do have to talk about the decision making of these two teams because we are seeing major slip ups on both sides. Not coming to Dragon early enough to contest it and deciding to throw down ults in position where you don't have enough space between the engage and yourself, and your Leona also isn't drawing the line in the sand for you. Your Leona is behind you while you're starting your ult. I mean, that's a problem decision making. But also we see that Citizens gets the Dragon.
Can Gangplank escape? Oh, the perma slow and he flashes. Okay, perfect. The perma slow and
his flash. His flash feels like it's on a lot shorter cooldown than 5 minutes.
Actually, that is probably true. He probably has lucidity boots, which does reduce, flash cooldown. It goes from, I believe, 300 seconds to 286 or 280. 20 seconds shorter, and it does make some, it does come in clutch every now and then,
And so you're seeing GCG not timing his flash because they are ganking him as his flash is coming up, and so he's getting to walk away from these ganks that he should die to almost free. Like it's costing him a flash on cooldown or off cooldown, but he's just getting it for free.
Yeah.
To go back to what we were talking about before, these are decision making slips that are keeping the gold lead more or less where it's at. Like it's gone from 2K to 3K now, but it actually didn't have to be that high. Misfortune doesn't walk up in a 1v2 lane. Irelia doesn't try to tower dive while Gangplank alters up. Urgot doesn't stay an extra
Oh,
10. Ooh, nope. And now somebody else is making
and
interesting
he
decisions.
walks up
Udyr
a
is
bit
getting
further
ganked.
to clear the pink ward. I believe that's what we call the pink ward bait. They have no vision over the wall. They go for a pink ward, and you get punished. Yes, especially as a champion like Udyr with no flash to get the wave. That's a bit risky. Oh, GP is top. Got flash. He knows GP doesn't have flash. GP should die here, and GP dies here. Over ambitious from Gangplank defending the tower. As a Gangplank, you never really want to go for 1v1 all ins, especially versus an Urgot, and without your flash. So he not only loses his tower, he gives away 300 gold.
So again, it goes back to decision making. These decisions they're making aren't the best decisions given the moment. Gangplank gives up that tower, he gets a full wave coming to him, he farms up the second
Yes,
upgrade to his
yes.
ultimate. He doesn't have to die there. He doesn't need to catch that wave or contest the tower being taken at that point in time. Udyr doesn't have to clear doesn't have to clear a controller, which is like the oldest
Trick in
bait
the book.
in league.
It's the oldest bait in the
It's the
book. The
oldest
pink
bait
ward over the
in league.
pits. The pink ward over the pits. I'll be honest, I've fallen for it a couple of times too, and it's always why you want a ranged champion to clear wards like that. I've learned my lesson far too many times.
Give yourself just that little bit of safety.
Especially considering that there's no Drake up, and the ward
Yeah,
is at the back of the Drake pit, so it doesn't do anything. There's no reason to go for it. I mean, it's 25 gold, but I mean, it's 50 gold, but
but it's not that
you have
important
caps.
right now.
Yeah, you have camps. But yeah, falling for the oldest bait in the book. It happens. I will say this though. Despite and Diana is doing the exact same thing, but they're too slow to capitalize,
But
or they
I mean,
not.
they are running. They are running
She
in.
has
I mean, you
flash,
have a
she
stun,
makes, and she's running.
but she wants to turn around.
Can they
Turning
turn it?
around.
Can they turn
Okay,
it?
okay. It's a
Irelia is in the back line.
3v3.
Diana goes in,
And
but
one
she
Dana goes down,
dies.
Irelia goes
Oh,
down.
Irelia dies.
Ooh, with the kill, Gangplank with the flash kill.
Oh,
They can
that's
keep
a
going. That's
great
enough of an
and
Urgot.
he
He
dies.
dies there.
The MF
Heal
was
goes
just
down
a bit
too.
too late.
It's slightly out of range, and that's right before Dragon
Yeah.
spawns. Right, because Dragon will spawn soon. If they reset here, spend that gold in any way or form.
I
You know,
believe they
buy
might
some
go for the
control
tower.
words,
Though. It looks
control
like they're going for
anything.
the tower here. I do not know if it's worth it. Oh, and
The nice
and
buffer.
the
Udyr
got-
goes down. Okay,
Oh,
Misfortune ultimate kind of wasted there. I mean, there was only one minion there. It was slightly necessary. Okay, Aatrox is going down to Dragon to start. To Gangplank going to join. I mean, they do have numbers on the map. They only need to
Diana is
send
up in
one or two
Diana is up
people
in
there
one.
and push waves bot lane or somewhere else.
Diana is going straight there. Irelia is going straight there. Also, I don't believe they need to contest this. I believe the ideal play for GCG would be to set up wards around Baron now,
Baron,
because that is
yeah.
the biggest objective. But that was it all started from the pink ward again in the pits, carrying I think back of Baron.
The notorious pink word.
Yeah, they believed they had the Diana, but her team was quick to collapse. They did trade the kills, but they fought under GP ult and barrels and Aatrox, and well, yeah, pink wards have seemed to be the bane of these players in this game.
Of jungler's existence, specifically. Because at both times, it's the junglers getting caught out. Yeah. I mean, okay, so what we want to see from these teams right now, we want to see GCG set up a pick somewhere. Because, I mean, they don't know it, but Silver Fang's team does not have any vision
Anywhere.
on the map around Baron.
Exactly.
And if they go as a 3, 4, 5-man dead squad, clear out vision and set up a pink, they turn out into a Baron.
But that's what you did. There's no vision to clear out. I mean,
There's no vision to clear out,
the
yes.
assumption is that there's vision, but
The assumption is that there's vision, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, there's just no vision. Especially with Leona, you're gonna have a GP or Swain face check a Leona. I mean, that's one shot acting to happen. I will say this though, on the side of GCG, like despite everything, they have managed to keep the gold lead at 2k, at generally maximum. It's and they're going in on Urgot. The GP ult goes in, she's blocking the Urgot from being able to dash, the crit, and the Leona ult Did not help. So they're able to get the Urgots.
So interestingly, we're seeing we're seeing Citizens do what GCG should have been doing. And what Citizens should have been doing is controlling Baron, baiting this team that has less gold into them, winning a team fight, and ending the game. Because it is, at that point, it was 25 minutes past. You can end the game with a 5-man squad if you
Especially
get an
with
ace.
Baron, or like, and both towers down. Just run
Yeah,
down there.
you have a GP with Demolish, you have a Tristana who gives you extra
Oh yeah,
tower
especially
damage.
GP
You
demolished
can
with
end the game.
passive also. Yeah, and Diana also. Diana with the insane attack speed on towers. You could, even if maybe the game was not endable. Oh, and MF gets caught. She flashes to get the execute. Can she get the execute? And she got the
She
execute.
gets the
Perfect.
execute. She
She
gets the
does have to
execute.
blow
I
flash
mean,
though,
it
but
is
it's
it is it's not a bad play on her part. She
yeah.
gets the tower while everybody is playing around trying to kill Urgot on the top of the map. She's bottom side getting the tower,
Yeah.
but she doesn't recall. She's a bit greedy and doesn't recall, and so now she has to suicide. But it's a net positive. Bounty
Yeah.
should be in effect.
And with the bot tower down, that's an extra lane that could get pushed for a win.
Yes. So when towers go down, the minions in the lane where the tower goes down get a little bit stronger. So Misfortune taking one more tower than uh, Citizens has on that side means that those minions will generally push towards Citizens. So that gives them a little bit of pressure release on the map, gives them a little bit of map control. But I mean, I say that, and as I say that, Misfortune is running to bot lane
Straight
again
bot
instead of
lane.
using that pressure control that she's going to get.
I
Like
believe
it,
the
it comes
Urgot should be going
eventually
at least bot lane because he does have TP.
because he has teleport. Yeah.
And Gangplank, I mean, they do have Gangplank or both EDO with TP, so either, as you can see, I mean, I said Gangplank, sorry. They do have Aatrox or GP, and they both seem to go in bot. Also, another thing I would like to point out is the level gap, not just the gold gap. Because any team fight now, we're looking at 3 level 16 ults on the side of Citizens, and one on
Only
the side
one
of
on the side of
GCG.
GCG. Yeah.
And level 16 ult is quite a big deal, especially on Diana, Aatrox, and GP. Those are generally the people you probably want ult on the most. We have a level 14 Tristana versus level 14 MF. They've managed to keep parity, 16 tops versus each other. But then we have mid lane with a level lead on the Aatrox, and on the other side, the support has a level lead on the Swain, but jungle seems to be the biggest parity with a 2-level lead on the Udyr. Just,
I
uh,
love the 2-level lead. It speaks to the jungle doing something.
oh,
But the problem now is you have a gold lead, you have an experience lead, you
and
have
they join on
ults up,
the
and
they join
you're
on Diana.
last
The
to
MF ult
dragon.
comes up. Oh, and they jump into the MF ult, and it's a double kill for the MF. Tristana jumps but doesn't make it. GP managed to kill the Leona, and wow, they got baited.
Now
Urgot
it's a
dies
1k
here
gold lead.
because Urgot should die here, and he dies. He wastes his flash. I believe that should stop the Baron at the very least. It should stop the Baron, but they walk
But
into
that
an
didn't
MF
have to
Leona.
happen. You have a gold lead, you know Dragon is coming up, you should be there
Okay,
first.
first.
I mean, GG to GCG for doing what we said they should have done.
Yeah.
Take
But
vision control, get a pick, and they get
exactly,
two picks,
you walk
and they
into
get a
a
dragon, which is what you
Leona,
want to
and
do
what do you
when you're
expect?
behind.
Leona, Irelia with stuns. What do you expect? You have to be there early, especially when Gangplank and a Diana. You want to have setup. You want to be able to poke with barrels, pick what points you're going to engage. You don't want them to jump on, and you can't do that if you're coming from one choke point.
If you're
And
coming and if you're coming late, if you're
yeah,
coming out like
you're just
20
coming late. You
seconds
have
into
no
the
vision.
spawn of the dragon.
Yeah. But as we see lanes reset, our GP is going to face Irelia. Irelia is backing off, probably being respectful of the jungler. She has on vision, so she knows. She goes to check Baron, and Aatrox is walking from bot side, probably expecting a Baron fight soon. I feel that shouldn't be necessary. He does have TP, but he's recalling. He just dinged level 17, and you saw the GP. They're the biggest levels in the game. So
We
did
want to
Urgot.
see them push the fact that they're high level. That's bonus health, bonus AD, bonus armor. You want to see them push that. You want to see them not sit in their own jungle, but go into the enemy's jungle because at this point you're still stronger. It's 300 gold difference now as opposed to 3k, but you're still stronger just because you're a higher level. But they
Exactly.
really split.
And
But they're really split.
there's no, how do I say, decisive decision making on their part. It seems they've played this game fairly passively, waiting for GCG to make plays. When GCG make plays, they capitalize, and it has been working. But that's only so far as you need to get a lead. If you do it like this, when you already have a lead, you're just waiting for the enemy team to catch up, because no team would realistically make a play on a team that doesn't that they're behind on. If you have Dragon, if you have Baron objectives where you know you can force plays like this, and she
Tristana
died.
jumps in.
Tristana believed she could go in on the MF, and she got destroyed. Now they're picking a 4v5 fight, and MF is pulling her weight. She's getting wiped. Diana just got killed. Wombo combo. Swain is dying. GP just landed a huge crit, but he's facing 5 people, and it's not enough. They're going for the Baron. I
That
wonder if it could
has
have
to
ended there,
be
but
that has to be the throw of the tournament.
yeah,
That just means because
for the
Tristana
first
could have
time.
jumped away, but
But she
she
jumped
chose
into
to
the
jump
MF.
in. And then her team then goes in one by one to that.
I wonder if GP can
That's
do
like the
something here.
opposite of what
Probably
you see
not.
T1
Oh,
do.
GP does something
Oh,
here, and he wipes out 2 Baron and
Gangplank
kills
for the
the
W.
MF. Perfect. They ran by themselves. I think other 2 are running at him. I wonder if it's going to be a repeat. No,
Okay, we
Aatrox
have
is
we have Aatrox
Aatrox.
walking up.
They can go for this. They can
she
go for this. They can go
she
for
yeah
this.
she sees the barrel. She puts down the
Aatrox
ignite.
is there.
It's auto attacks. Aatrox to knock up, and
She
she's gonna
can.
get the second, and
Oh,
she
she
flashes and
landed.
gets it.
Aatrox does not
Aatrox
all
pop
the
his ult a
time.
little
I
bit too
wonder
late. He
why.
gets stunned. Luna comes in,
He can't move. He couldn't
and
move,
it's
and he
and it's a
died.
double kill.
Aatrox should have altered sooner, but as we
I
can
think
see, GP managed to get 2 Barons, and in the end, it is a 2 for 2. So wiping out 2 Barons, I would say, is worth it. But the rest of the team is running havoc on the map, and for the first time in a long time, GCG has a gold lead. Not they're
yeah.
not
And
they're not behind. No,
if it goes anything like the first game, once GCG gets the gold lead, they
they're
are
not
gonna
giving up.
keep that gold lead, and they're gonna win
Yeah,
the game.
they're not giving it
I
up.
mean, game one, once they got the gold lead, they never lost it, and they
Yeah,
won the game. They didn't win it cleanly, but they did
but
win the
they
game.
won.
And
Yeah.
you do see Dragon is spawning again.
For the
This
first
time,
time,
yeah,
Citizens is showing up, but you have 2 dead.
yeah, you have to there. It's 3v5. You can't
Yeah.
take enough space with 3 of you into people who just got a gold lead from you
Mm.
coming off a fresh buy because they did reset.
You need a
One of the
pick.
problems Citizens had was they would get a gold lead, not reset, and effectively they're fighting at
On the
par.
same strength, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
but
I'd say they need a pick here if they can get a pick on the MF. MF seems to be the decisive one in these fights. If they can get a pick on the MF, especially with a Diana, Diana can. Oh, and MF flashes. She flashes. Good, good, good. I don't think Diana ult was particularly necessary there, but if you get MF flash, that makes it easier to fight the fight. Now, someone should have a blue trinket, and this is where. This is where
we see a positional
choke
misplay by
points.
Citizens here, and I don't think they realize that Gangplank can chain the barrels over the wall and clear that
Oh, what
bush.
is this? Aatrox is going over from
He popped
wait,
his
he uses
ult.
the
Wall,
hextech, but I guess he's running away. Like
yeah, but he also popped his ult. He used World Ender. World Ender is a cooldown.
Swain
Then the
flashes
ultimate
in
goes
with the
down.
ult.
Misfortune ult
MF
goes up.
ults nobody. Well, she ults the Swain,
That
and
goes
they're going
in
on the
into
MF,
a
but there's not
1v4
enough damage on the
situation.
Diana to kill the MF through the team. They're running at the Gangplank because it's mostly the main damage. Aatrox is trying to live. I don't think it's possible, and they get the Hextech Soul. Gangplank being their only damage, they should not have gone for the MF. They should have tried to prioritize killing for Gangplank. But with Hextech Soul and Baron, I don't. Oh, Baron just ran out. Okay, with Hextech Soul, I don't think they should be able to stop. I don't think Gangplank should be able to stop this. Maybe some good battles will clear the way, but the team can just tank in front of the minions and force Gangplank back. And oh wow, a beautiful combo. He dies though. If he got MF there, maybe, but no. They should be able to end the game here.
I mean, Gangplank making some
Two
hero plays
seconds on
here, swing
Tristana.
trying, he's going in with his ultimate, but he already used
Okay.
some cooldown.
Two
He should
seconds on
just die here.
Tristana.
It should be
Two
the game.
seconds on Diana. Tristana flashes in. She managed to get the MF, but I don't think it's good enough. Diana goes in. Or she gets the kills, and she gets killed also. 1 second on Aatrox, 1 second on Aatrox, but he's the last line of defense. They just have to ignore him and go for the base. Irelia is just going to kill him. There's no ignoring Irelia. Just going to kill him,
I
and
mean,
that looks like GG.
we talked about it. GCG pull off a win. They're behind most of the game, but they
Yeah,
get the gold
that
lead.
was
Once they
quite a
get the gold
comeback.
lead, they turn it into a win.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
in
it's
proper fashion
decisive.
to game one, they don't
Yeah.
lose the gold lead. They close out the game.
But it's decisive also, like for, how do I say, I'd say for 60-70% of the game, Citizens have a gold lead and they don't really do much with it. The moment and the exact moment GCD gets a gold lead, they go straight to Baron, straight to Drake. They set up and they force a fight, and we can see the results of very decisive goal lead. Now, a lot of these plays you could say came down to some, poor judgment on play spots, Tristana jumping in, the team running in. However, GCG did make some errors of maybe worse, but of fairly the same kind early on in the game,
And
and
that
it
is the
was
thing. GCG made errors, but they stabilized. They did the right thing. On the other side, Citizens, they made errors and then didn't do the right thing after the errors. Like, you have people coming in late to that pivotal dragon fight. So you have no river control. Like, you get there, you clear wards, and then you leave the river and give them back river control. Now you have no space. You have nobody walking into your GP barrels. And the other thing about the errors that were made is GCG made errors when they were already behind. You know,
yes,
I mean, it wasn't going to hurt them that much more, and they were playing well enough that they kept the gold lead between a
yeah,
2 and 3K margin, no matter how many errors they made.
yeah,
On the
fairly parity.
other hand, the errors that Citizens were making are from a position of strength. You're giving off so much. You're giving off 700 to 1,000 gold bounties with your errors and swinging the game
Exactly,
back in GCG's favor. And they're unnecessary errors because you're spending so much time doing nothing on the map. You're spending a lot of time. I
exactly.
mean, if we go back into the game, we check. You see, there's times where people have things they can do, but they're standing in bushes, not taking up space.
Doing
No,
no, exactly.
no pressure on the map with a 3K gold lead, and a 3K gold lead is sitting in your solo laners, people who can apply pressure on the map, but they're not doing it.
Yeah. And we had so many moments where the goalie did extend past 2K and they gave it right back. Citizens would in like they, I feel they were scared of making bad plays, and they resorted to not making plays at all, which turned out to be in this situation worse than not making bad plays. Because um in a situation where both teams are making bad plays, it's better to try and make a play as a team and see what you get out of it than not making a play and waiting for anything to, catch up.
Yep.
As the
Yep.
game goes by, if the goal lead is only 2K, it becomes less and less
Significant.
meaningful.
Yeah.
That's a BF sword, or that's boots on one champion versus not. It's it feels a bit like they played with the idea of, we're not going to make too many big plays to avoid risk of throwing, which is fair. But when you have a lead, you can afford to take those risks.
Yep. Not
So
throwing is not the same thing as winning the game. No, not throwing and winning the game are two completely different paths.
exactly,
Not throwing, not throwing is for the
it's
people who are even or behind, not for the person who's ahead. You're ahead and you're thinking to yourself, how am I winning this game as soon as possible?
as possible. You don't want to give them a chance to, as because as the game goes by, yes, Tristana dying once is the difference between so I'm sorry, my example is in early game, dying once, the difference between pushing a wave and maybe putting wards on Barrett on Drake than 20 minutes down the line, Tristana dying once, the difference between we're going to take your inhibitor, you know?
Yeah.
And or you don't want to get to that point when you have a lead because no matter how good your lead is, if your Tristana dies once, it's or if your GP gets cut out, and if you're in a position where you're ahead, you need to be able to push that lead as a team. You don't want to give the opponents a chance to kill one of your champions because at that point you're ahead, you're team fighting. There is no chance of catch them out to do this. But we didn't really see a lot of that, did we? Like a lot of deaths
No.
that Citizens had that cost them the game were with one champion dying away from the team or one champion
Yeah.
getting caught out. Man, they need more solidity together as a group.
We're just not seeing them. We're seeing a lack of communication, like a
Yes.
lack of directed and focused action being birthed from communication. It's just not there. And the other problem is most of the leads that citizens did get were actually from it wasn't from them really doing anything, it was from the enemy team making mistakes. Whereas on the other side, you see that GCG is getting leads from proactive decisions. Like, they're taking up space on the map, denying vision, getting picks. The one there was a fight they won where they killed two people because they took over the river. Now you have the enemy team walking into you blind, and you have a Leona, you have a Misfortune, you have an Udyr. You have these people with point click CC that you can't escape from. Like once you're in their range, you're dead.
Oh,
That's it.
one CC lands, the rest is going to follow, and 100-0.
I mean, what it have culminated in is the fact that GCG is going to the finals.
Oh
They
yes.
they win out the best of three GCG going a clean 2-0. There's no tie breaks, nothing. It's just
No,
a clean
just
2-0.
I was hoping for some bounce back, and to be honest, like to give them some credit, Citizens did bounce back at the beginning of the game. The Diana was jungling circles around the Udyr, for lack of a better term. The Gangplank going top versus the Urgot did quite well. There wasn't a lot of getting caught out in the early game. He did farm well. He capitalized on his picks. A lot of the good plays that we did see came directly from the Gangplank. After the Baron, he managed to get a double kill, slow down the push. After the Drake, he did manage to kill one, or no, he got a double kill also after the Drake managed to kill the Urgot through his flash. So the Gangplank did make a lot of good plays individually. Um, the Diana putting pressure where she needed to put pressure. Or I'd say the main focus of the income was the bot lane. They definitely did need a MF band, I would say. MF was able to turn a lot of team fights with just a single ult. And we did say that in the pick of ban phase that that's probably why they went for the MF Leona, the Wombo combo. If they had banned one of those, this game may have taken a different turn. They might not have had how do I say, the one pick, or not the one pick, the team fight counter to
Um,
Citizens team because um it's it's just there was lack of cohesiveness. And versus a team comp like MF Leona that's simple in execution, you need that cohesiveness, and Citizens just did not bring it. And we can see the results. Hopefully, they can either draft better next time, plan better. I mean, by no means are they a bad team. We've seen them in the semifinals, and they made several excellent plays. But yeah, it's the result is decisive, and GCG is going to the finals. Versus, well, we'll see who they fight later on. But yeah, good luck to
yeah,
them.
the on the other side of the bracket is Afri Gaming versus the Saints, and we're hoping it should be a much closer match. Interestingly,
Yeah.
coming out of the group stage, GCG was the fourth seed, and they actually came back from the
Yeah,
deficit of being the first seed and beat out the first
see,
seed in
that
the tournament.
was the upset. I still can't believe it. I mean, I like to believe they worked out a lot of the kinks that they had in the group stages. Uh, a lot of teams do power up as the tournament goes along. They get some practice sessions in. They study the other teams better. They know who to focus, who to not focus, and how do I say, team comps that they can rely on. And as we can see, it's worked out for GCG. They knew what they needed to do. They capitalized on it, and they they offset the first seed. I don't know what else to say. It's quite a bit shocking because we would have expected maybe 2-1 if for an upset, maybe some like a game where they struggle a bit, but a clean 2-0 over the first seed. Um, we'll see if a miracle like that occurs tomorrow, if the third seed can beat the second, or you know if things stay consistent with in-universe logic and the second beats the third seed. But we'll see how it goes.
We will see how it goes. We do seem to be having a little bit of a delay. Um, I'm honestly not sure what to do with the delay. Honestly, not sure what to do with delay.
I really do not know either. I would love to tell you, but I do not know.
So, uh, we can always put down predictions for the next game. Who do you think is going to win between Afri Gaming and the Saints? We did see a bit of the group stage,
Hmm.
and in their head-to-head, the Saints beat Afri Gaming, yes? Or was it the
Uh,
other way around?
I believe African beat the Saints. They
Oh,
played
okay.
twice. I believe they won one and lost one. Or no, no, African did beat the Saints.
Afri Gaming is Saints, so we are expecting them to win in the semifinal
Yes,
match.
we are.
Hopefully this is not a Casta curse, and then they
uh,
and they end up getting 2-0 in the semifinals. We're
that
expecting Afri
I
Gaming to beat
if
the
that's the
Saints.
case, the finals would be quite interesting. Let's just say that.
If it would
Uh,
be.
I'm guessing a 2-1. I would say 2-1. Reason I'd say 2-1 for the Saints, mostly because with how GCG has played and being the fourth seed,
You're
I'd like to say the
expecting.
second seed is gonna win, but
You want to call
for
the tournament the rise of the underdogs.
yeah, it feels like an underdog moment, honestly. I'd say 2-1 because Afri Gaming has quite a lot of good players. I don't see them falling quite easily. But the Saints, um, they have, how do I say, a hidden factor. I'd like to say, like, a lot of the players I think are flexible in their roles. So this like generally increases the type of team comps they can make. Uh, it would be quite surprising. I mean, if we saw something like Sejuani top or Shaco Jungle, or some crazy wild pick that you weren't expecting because the a certain player went to a certain lane that you didn't plan for. And like GCG did here with planning for a team fight comp and how do I say, the enemy not knowing what to expect or playing for
We
it or what to play for. We could have
and
an
we
upset
did
along the
see
manner.
we did see lane swaps come out this game because going into the game you're expecting the
Yes,
Aurelia to go
also.
top and you're expecting who's the other player? The Ergot to go mid, and then they just pull out the lane swap. I mean, it didn't work out for them at the beginning of the game. Gangplank goes mid, feeds Aurelia a free kill. But lane swaps are available. They're an
Yeah,
option for people to have
true.
or to exercise.
So we'll see how that goes. Okay, what's your prediction then for tomorrow?
My prediction for tomorrow. I want the Saints to win. I'm going in on the underdogs. I want the Saints to win.
Okay. Then let's
Oh,
say finals then. How do you predict the finals?
how do you predict the finals? I mean, we don't know. We haven't seen the Saints play yet, and we
Okay,
also
very
haven't
well.
seen After
Let's
Gaming
say
play.
versus both teams then. How do you say? GCG versus Afri Gaming and GCG versus the Saints. What do you say?
I do believe Afri Gaming beat both the Saints and GCG.
Oh, so they're the favorites.
So they are favored to win. But we're
Okay,
talking
well,
rise. We're talking rise of the underdogs here, which is why we're both going
well,
in
fair,
on the
fair.
Saints. We're going in on the Saints.
Well, I'll take you up on that then. The Saints versus GCG finals prediction. You had it here first, by the
My crystal ball
way.
pick for the
The
ROG
heart of the
PC
cards
Masters
told me
powered
so.
by Conda.
The heart of the
Yeah.
cards told me so. So I'm gonna go with those picks. Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. So we do hope to we
What's
do hope to see who wins out tomorrow. I mean, we're both saying underdogs should win tomorrow,
Yeah,
and
but
so we will
anything
see
could still
tomorrow.
happen.
Anything can happen, but we're hoping it's an underdogs win.
Yes.
And we will be back tomorrow with the
Yeah.
semifinals. So tune in same time tomorrow,
Yeah.
7 p.m.
We'll have we should be casting, and we might have an extra guest caster tomorrow to come. Shed some thoughts. We shall see.
Yeah.
And
So,
hope you guys have a pleasant day. I would like to thank, by the way, let's not forget, we'd like to thank our ROG for sponsoring this tournament. It has been quite fantastic, and you should check out their laptops. The laptops are awesome. I personally have one also, so I can attest that they're quite good.
yeah, yeah. All right. Good
Good night,
night
everybody.
to
Uh,
everyone from the Republic of Gaming PC Masters powered by Contender, and we'll see you tomorrow.
have a good night. Bye.
Okay, Dr. said, you disappeared for so long.